feel like this car kind of makes you a little bit of a bad boy. It brings out the bad boy qualities.
Oh yeah. It's damped well enough so that the car is able to move around, especially loaded up with all your gear, but at the same time it's not stiff. You're not bouncing around, etc. Start?
It's definitely a very good start. Well, if you've been following along, you saw that Sean and I drove across the country in this 2009 Shelby GT500KR King of the Road, following Fritz Burkhardt in his 1936 Bugatti Type 57 Adelante roll top. And Sean's at the auctions this morning, so Ben is joining me, and this is honestly perfect because you have driven across the country, what?
6 times.
6 times,
yep.
So I knew it was a decent amount of times. This was my first time driving across the country in this car. Well, first time driving across the country ever, and we were talking about this. You know, you've done a lot of cross-country drives. We also did that video with Donald a little while back about cross-country driving. This is honestly the perfect cross-country driver.
It's really good, and let me just say, I had a really strenuous flight. It was 6.5 hours. I don't want to hear about your 10-day trip because my flight was really tough, okay? But after driving this yesterday, we went up to Canapa, you know, saw Bruce, got some great content up there. After just driving it up and back, what a great car this is. And it's not just, it's comfortable.
This is car week. This is car week.
We're interrupted.
2 F5 Hennessy Venom F5s.
I saw one of those last night. But it's not just, it's comfortable, it's fast, it's loud. This car has a lot of great qualities to it.
It does.
You know, what do you think? Like, how was the trip? Like, how did the car feel? What were some of the positives? What were some of the negatives? Like, what did you take away from your first trip?
So it was interesting because as we were driving along, you know, I had to document the process. So I was editing and filming while Sean was driving. I kind of just was sat in the passenger seat. He'd only let me drive to dinner. I think he secretly
doesn't trust you.
Well, maybe he doesn't trust me.
You're not a good driver. That's the problem. You have no experience driving vehicles. But anyways,
I think he secretly, as I would say, he's the biggest Porsche guy out of the three of us, because he is like Porsche all day long. Yeah. And I think secretly he was really enjoying driving this car because Sean is usually very calm behind the wheel. Yep. But whenever he had a little chance to give it a little bit of gas and have a little bit of fun, like where it was safe to do so, he would take that opportunity. Sure. And I feel like this car kind of makes you a little bit of a bad boy. It brings out the bad boy qualities in you. And you know, to answer your question, when I thought about it, in the beginning I said, okay, muscle cars aren't really my thing. But as the time went on and as I got some seat time behind the wheel, I've really started to enjoy this thing. This car is probably some of the most fun that I've ever had in a car. Dude, yeah. It is so much fun to drive.
Hell yeah. And, you know, this car, again, I only drove it a couple hours yesterday. I've driven it a little today, but its ability to eat up miles is really one of its best qualities for these road trips. The seats, I don't know if you can see the bolsters in these seats. They're extremely plush. The bolsters are extremely supportive. Hey, it's Jackson. What up? It allows you to just get comfortable, get really planted in the car, and it doesn't allow you to get anxious and think, when do I have to get up next? You know, and go get fuel or whatever.
Well, that's the thing. The comfort is the biggest thing for me. So this car has 540 horsepower, supercharged, V8, an absolute monster. Yeah. But the comfort, even if you just put it in a higher gear and just waft along, it is so comfortable and so easy to drive.
And it's very similar to my BMW, in which I did, the trips in. I had a nice exhaust setup in that car for the trips. I had a aftermarket catted downpipe along with a Corsa muffler, high flow muffler. So when you're sitting at 80, even 90 miles an hour, fourth or fifth gear, you're hearing the engine just like this car, but it's not getting in your inner ear. There's no drone. It's a nice hum, so you know what the car's doing, keeps you awake, keeps you alive. And 540 horsepower is a lot, but when you're on a trip like this, you need power. Let's say you get stuck in a hole, you get stuck behind a couple trucks, you gotta be able to kind of make the move you need to make, not recklessly, but just to be able to get out of a jam, or else you might be stuck behind that truck for 20 minutes.
Like this Toyota Camry.
Toyota Camry. Nothing against Camrys, but, and just driving the car yesterday, the car, you think about a Mustang, and we've seen all the memes and Mustang crashes over the years and etc. But this thing has real road manners. I mean, coming up here in the hills, it's got real front end grip. The differential in the back is really working well. This car is riding on Pilot Sport 4S tires. I know the fronts are 255s. Do you know the rear size?
I don't.
I think they're 275s.
They're big. They're not enormous.
No, and the car has plenty of grip, but there's so much instant torque with that blower that you spin off first gear very quickly if you'd want to.
Oh yeah, no, it is very, very fast. We'll see if we can get a little. I mean, this is just in second here. It just builds power.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
It really builds it. And the supercharger whine is just addicting.
That leads us to the one negative about the vehicle.
It drinks a lot of fuel.
So this car has a 14-gallon tank, you told me?
14-gallon tank.
I'm comparing this to my BMW because that's what I've experienced. And my BMW has a 14-gallon tank. This is a 5-liter supercharged motor, okay? My BMW has a 3-liter single turbocharged engine, which is focused on performance, but is also focused on fuel economy. It was really in the era where BMW started to focus on blending both together. And that clearly at, between 80 and 110 miles an hour gets better fuel economy than this, but this is arguably more fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then you think about the space. You've got plenty of space. We're both big gentlemen. We're 6'2". It's hard to tell through the camera, but we've got plenty of space. We've got elbow room. We're not encroaching each other.
No.
And it's just a nice place to spend some time.
It really is. And, about the space, Sean is taller than the both of us, and he's bigger than the both of us.
He's about 6'7".
Yes. No, 7'8".
7'8".
And, this view is,
look at this
is stunning. It was the perfect car for the both of us because we were able to. He was able to drive. He was able to navigate. There's this plate right here, the Shelby GT500 plate that sits in between the two front air vents for the driver and the passenger, and you can't see it, but we'll get a shot of it. And it has the phone mount that sticks perfectly to the phone mount. We have the radar detector on inside the pockets for the door where you would have the handle to close the door. Was perfect because I could fit my two phones in there. I could place my my microphones that we would use for social media content right there as well. This is painful.
It is painful, but it is what it is. We'll get some good shots.
Have my social media mics mounted right there, and everything fit within the car. And if I wanted to take rolling shots, I could just put the window. I could hang out, have the camera there. It could not have been a more perfect car.
Sure. And and then you think about it, it's like, well, you could take a Ford Expedition or a Suburban or something like that, but when you're sitting across the country for a while, you need moments like that. Or else you're sitting in a minivan, lulling yourself to sleep, you're falling asleep on the road. Something like that could wake you up for the next hour and a half. If you've driven across the country, you get into states like Iowa, Nebraska, Colorado. There's stretches where you may not see civilization for 100 miles.
Yes.
No one's gonna look at you weird if you punch it above 100 miles an hour. And having a car that's able to do so instantaneously changes the whole aspect of the entire drive. Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. And it was so funny because people, especially in some of those states, they would see this and be like, oh my God, this is the nicest car I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
And I'd say, yeah, it's a really nice car, but have you seen that car? And I would show them Fritz's Bugatti.
Right.
And their minds would be blown.
Right.
They would absolutely be blown.
Right.
Oh, this guy.
Oh, we've got a pull off.
Thanks, brother.
Nice. Back in the fog.
And all things considered, like you said, it actually handles quite well.
It really does. And like you said before we were filming, these are the roads that the car's happiest on. You know, second gear, middle of the revs, smooth terrain, long sweepers. You're not putting all the weight on that front end in these, you know, that's a turn that it doesn't like if you're going too fast. This could be a turn it doesn't like, but once you get second, third, and start to really open it up, that thing handles really well. Brembo brakes, you know, the suspension feels really good. It's damped well enough so that the car is able to move around, especially loaded up with all your gear, but at the same time, it's not stiff. You're not bouncing around, etc. It's a really good platform. The tires work well with the car. You know, you don't need any better tires than this. What are you gonna do, put Sport Cup 2s on it for a cross-country trip?
It's easy to heel and tow.
Yeah. Talk about that shifter. This is an old school Hearst style shifter.
It's great.
That works so well for this car. It's just nice and notchy, short throw. You're confident in where it's going. It just feels really good in your hands.
It really does. I think it's the first time I've shut up in a while. Concentrating on
well,
driving.
I mean, you're back and forth. I mean, this is why we come out here. And what a cool car week car this is. You've seen GT500s. People have them. This is the first KR I think I've seen, and I actually looked up the production numbers last night.
They're quite rare.
Over a 2-year production run, 08 and 09, Ford made less than 1,000 of these, and they actually have them broken down by color, which is really cool. So Colorado red with silver stripes, they only made 217 of these cars. So odds are you're not going to see another one even at Car Week.
There's only 217 of these made on a Tuesday. No, you're so right.
It's a rare thing.
It's super, super rare. And you're right, it's the only one that we've seen. And it's honestly gotten a lot of compliments. There's been a lot of people that have said, wow, that's a KR. Oh, sweet KR.
Yeah.
It is a really cool car.
If you know, you know.
And I think this also, for me, 2008, 2009 was when I've always loved cars, but that's when the car obsession really fully took over my entire life.
Yeah.
And I think the look of this, it's
quintessential
aggressive.
America.
It's just aggressive enough, but it's also can kind of blend in if you don't really know anything. You just think, it's a Mustang.
Could be a rental. I've seen so many red V6 Mustangs out here. It blends in with that crowd. But if you're a connoisseur looking at badges, looking at details, carbon front splitter, little rear wing, etc., you know, and the stuff is purposeful.
And if you hear it too.
Hello. The thing's whining like a freaking school kid. But what's crazy is it all works.
It does.
Above 100 miles an hour, the car's very planted. It doesn't feel like it's...
On the racetrack, of course.
On the racetrack, of course. I'm just saying, like watching videos and stuff like that. But what's crazy is it actually works. And, you know, even my BMW, which is a German automobile, and granted, I would drive across country with the roof racks, a roof box with about 300 pounds of stuff. I would take all of my stuff for a year of school in my 1 Series. Rear seats down, bike, all my clothes, chairs, all these different things, it all fit. So that, at higher speeds, was a little sketchy.
Yeah.
This, with the wing, with the front splitter, really works.
It does. And also, you could fit, it has a huge trunk.
Oh,
you can fit so much stuff in the trunk.
God, yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And also, you know, it's getting a little hot in here, so put on the AC.
Works well.
The AC blows cold. We had it in Nevada. We got up to 107 degrees at one point.
Never overheats.
It was great. Here, I'm going to pull off. Why don't you get behind the wheel?
Sure. Watch out for the lip there. You know, if you ask an automotive journalist about the steering, they wouldn't like it. But it's a good steering rack for going across the country because it keeps the wheel straight.
Yes, it does.
It's not relying on the driver to keep it straight, which is what a lot of these guys like, but it allows you to kind of relax and just
It does.
You know, get into a nice rhythm on straights.
And it's still communicative
Yeah.
in turns. You feel the weight when it starts to load up on the front.
Yeah. Look at this.
And this is where it shines perfectly in these sweepers. It has a little bit of trouble when it's a quick change of direction, left and right or whatever it may be, because of the weight, of course. I don't know the exact weight, but it is, I mean, it's a muscle car. It is a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
But this is where it shines really, really well.
This is the middle of third. We're doing about 55. It's a little sketchy getting hard on the brakes before a turn, but if you plant that front end and turn in with the weight forward, it's really nice. It's like a big heavy BMW.
And that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Not as heavy as the new M5.
If you could see where my lips were going, that's exactly what I was about to say. But this is where she wants to live, right here.
And it's never really terrifying to drive.
No.
It's one of those things, okay, right? If we were in a Boxster Spider up here, or if we came in GT4 RS, you could attack this way faster and have a lot more confidence. But this is a grand touring car. It's not designed to be a race car. You know what I mean?
You're still able to trim the line pretty well, even at speed. And when it's got that great rear-wheel drive quality. Get off the gas right as you tap in, and it really trims the line really well.
It does. It does. And also, same thing, this allows you to, I would say, practice the fundamentals of driving, right? Some of these newer cars they're fun to drive, but they're so easy to drive.
Yeah.
And at least this is engaging enough where you're shifting, you're thinking about your braking points, where you can get on the gas. Obviously, you cannot mash the throttle in the middle of the turn with a car like this because it will come sideways. But with a little bit of common sense, it's a great car to drive.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a first car, but definitely, one of those vehicles you have to think about all your inputs, and it will get away from you if you're not careful.
Absolutely.
And we drove this car before we had the new tires put on it. It was frightening.
Yeah.
There was nothing you could do. It was like driving on ice skates.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing in a vehicle like this is having good tires.
Yeah.
Good tires and good brakes are the most important thing in a vehicle like this.
And
obviously.
the other
vehicle.
Of course. And the other aspect about these road trips is, something that a lot of people don't think about that has, some to do with the car, but a lot to do with, outside environments, and that there's just so many variables, right? Like you could hit something, you could get a flat tire, whatever it might be, but with this car, you remove a lot of those variables, right? Because it's just such a solid powertrain. You can lean on it for days on end. You can punch it. You can drive it hard. It's so reliable. You're not going to worry about something stupid breaking or a freaking hose clamp going loose, and then you lose all your coolant. That's the thing. You can't just take a 40-year-old Ferrari and go. It's not that easy. It takes prep. It takes time. You got to really bulletproof anything. This thing is so strong. It's bulletproof from the factory, and that's what makes it great for this.
So you're saying it's like a little Ford versus Ferrari, and
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, sure, a brand new Ferrari would be great, but a Ferrari from 2009, would you really want to take that on a cross-country trip? What about your stuff? Where do you put it?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love the 458, I would say that this is probably a better cross-country cruiser than that.
I'm just not. This thing gives me so much confidence to just.
Look at this view.
This is nuts. It's one of the most beautiful areas of our country.
I believe so. Sorry, not to cut you off. I was just amazed.
I totally agree.
But yeah, it does give you a lot of confidence. And again, we're stuck behind this Honda Pilot, but it makes you feel like a naughty boy when you drive. Like,
my Mustang.
Mustang,
My Mustang.
There is something so American about it.
I know. And it's like everybody recognizes it. There's so many niche cars out here that no one's seen before. This is a rare version of a car that everyone's familiar with, which makes it really cool.
It does. Absolutely.
I don't know, man. This really changed my perspective on what an appropriate road trip car is. And again, I didn't do the trip, but come on.
my Starbucks cup clanking in the back seat.
That's one variable you could have done better at, is clearing out the car every day. But look, I'm nitpicking. The car's great, okay?
No, I completely agree. I mean, I'm always talking about German cars, Italian cars, but this really opened my eyes to American cars, and I would say some American cars.
Oh yeah.
But this, one of my favorites.
All day.
I love this
Once
car.
in a lifetime trip for you guys, man.
Absolutely.
What a fun thing.
Absolutely.
Good deal.
Well, remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Let us know your favorite muscle car moment in the comments below, and we'll catch you in the next video.